There we go. Now you guys can see me. Hopefully you can hear me good too. Let's see. All messages. There we go. All right. Hi guys, how's it going? So I haven't been able to do any of my FaceTime videos for a while now. So I was like, let me just like get on here and do one. Okay? It's not that deep, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't need to be that glamorous and wonderful. You know, none of my videos are glamorous and wonderful. So I was like, whatever. Let's just chill and chat here, why don't we? So let me pull up the cast of Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Stars. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, just want to make sure I have everybody. Okay, so sorry if I'm yawning. I am randomly really tired today. I've been doing pretty good about the whole tired thing, but today, for some reason, I'm like very yawny today. Okay, now before I talk about the cast of Dancing with the Stars, I want to say a couple things, okay? First of all, I'm going to be talking about their dancing skills, their partner, Dancing with the Stars, the show, okay? I'm not going to talk about very much about, if at all maybe, about who they are as like human beings in the world, okay? So don't come here expecting that I'm just gonna have like a chit chat about the show in general, because I just want to talk about something fun. I just want to have fun. I just want to talk about something fun, you know? So, okay, so let's see. We have Alex Earl, Andy Richter, Baron Davis, Corey Feldman, Danielle Fishel, Dylan Efron, Elaine Hendricks, Ilaria Baldwin, Jen Affleck, Jordan Childs, Lauren from Fifth Harmony, Robert Irwin, Scott Hoeing, and Whitney Levitt. Okay. So, I would say out of all the dances, my favorite dances were the women. I thought the women's dances were fantastic. I think that they are, like, the women are going to win this season. The only man I could see winning, as of just episode 1, okay, is Robert. Other than that, I just feel like it's a girls' season. It's a girly pop season. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, I think a girl is I think a woman, not a girl, a woman. I think a woman's going to win this season. That's the vibe that I'm getting, is it's going to be a woman. But I will say that I could definitely see a lot of these cast members getting better. And then once they get better, like, they could possibly win. So I could see that happening too. Definitely could see that happening. I would say my favorite dances to just watch in general, like not like critique like the actual dance, just to watch in general. I really loved watching Hilaria Baldwin, even though she's just a wackadoodle boodle poodle. Like, she's just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, she's literally trying to take on a completely different identity. And she's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but she's an incredible dancer. It's one of those things where it's like Charlie D'Amelio, where it's like, should she even be like allowed on this show? Because like, you're too good. Like, you're going to win this show because you're too good at dancing. Like, this show isn't for you. I liked watching Whitney. Whoever Whitney had to give, like, whoever Whitney like tipped $1 to, okay, maybe slipped $100 bill to get Mark, girl, she got like an OG professional who's been around the block, who has, I'm pretty sure, like, what does he have, 3 wins or some shit like that, something crazy like that. Like, who has the most? Is it Derek? Derek has the most, right? Derek has 5, I think Derek has like 5 or 6. But like, that's just, and then on top of that, like, Mark's best friend is a judge. It's like, girl, you got lucky on that one. I was like, wow, out of all the professionals that Whitney could have gotten, she got fucking Mark. I was like, damn. I think that Elaine Hendricks is very good and very talented. She also used to dance back in the day before she got hit by a car, which I didn't even know. She is fantastic, and I think she's going to do such a great job. My thing about these, okay, so my thing about Dancing with the Stars, and I think I made a TikTok about this, is that for me, Dancing with the Stars has the people that win, in my opinion, accomplish one of two things. No, they accomplish both things. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense what I'm about to say. They can accomplish both things. So first thing is that they can do a dance like the jive or the quick step or any of those types of dances where it is super quick, super fast, lots of footwork, a lot of footwork. Very peppy energy, very happy energy. That's something that, like, clearly we saw Robert Irwin, his first dance. He did fantastic. I think he did the quick step, right? Is that what he did? Um, and his first dance was amazing. He did such a good job. But that's like his vibe. He's happy, he's giddy, he's like, ee. And so my worry for Robert Irwin is that I wonder if he's going to be good at the the Argentine tango. Like, that's what I want to see. I'm like, is he going to be good at that dance where you're very like, ugh, like the men when they do that dance are very like astute and like, ugh. It's, what is it? Isn't it like the bull and the fighter? Isn't that basically what that dance is? Like, I'm very interested to see what that's going to look like for him because he's clearly talented. I'm like, sir, did you and your sister get together like before you were cast on this show and get like dance lessons or some shit? Because you are very talented. Okay. Same with like Dylan Efron, like a lot of these guys. I'm very interested because, listen, here's the thing: is that like the men, I don't know how I don't know how they do the show with the professional being a woman and the non-professional being a man, because a lot of these dances are male led, and then clearly these men can't lead these dances because they're unexperienced in dancing. So I'm like, how do these dudes do this? Like, it's so interesting to me. Like, I feel like the women, their female partners have to be so incredibly like above par to make the men like stand out. And I think watching Dylan, I really hope that he can do all those types of dances too. And I just love that Dylan seems just like a guy that he'll just try anything. And I love that about him. He just seems like a very go-lucky guy. He's ready for an adventure at any point, any time. And I love that. I love the feedback that they gave to Jen of like, hey, we love that you can like jump and flip and all that fun stuff, but like we want to see you dance. Like, it's Dancing with the Stars. Like, we want to see you dance. And I think she can dance. Also, the fact that this woman gave birthed life into this world, okay? And then is 8 weeks later dancing with the motherfucking stars with 2 toddlers, might I add? I don't know how she's doing it. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, if this woman can do it, I can do it. I can make myself a sandwich this morning. I can put toast in the toaster. If Jen Affleck can do it, I can too. If Jen Affleck has time to do all that and also simultaneously do a Dunkin' commercial with Ben Affleck, I can do anything too. You know what I'm saying? I think the guys they're just not that strong this year. The guys are just not, like, I was shocked that like Scott was not as good as I thought he was going to be. Not that he was like horrible, but he was not as good as I thought he was going to be, and I was kind of shocked about that. Whitney, phenomenal. She's a contender. Robert could be phenomenal. We shall see. I think all these women are going to be able to do all the dances, no questions asked, no problems, no issues. Like, I don't think any of these women are going to have like a full on, they're just going to suck and be horrible. I don't think that's going to happen. I think all these women have a great chance of being very, very good. I think the hardest dances are always the ones where there's a ton of footwork. Those are the dances that I think really mess people up the most. And then again, the slower, sexy dances like samba, Argentine tango, like things like that, where you're very intimate, you're very serious, you're very astute. Those ones can be very hard for people too, because you have to put on this very different character. And And I'm very interested to see. I mean, Whitney and Hilaria are living the fantasy right now. They are living the. Watching Hilaria Baldwin force Alec to go is hilarious to me. It's incredible to watch. It's very entertaining. And watching her pretend that she is of any type of Hispanic descent and on and off deciding when she wants to use her Madonna little accent, very entertaining to watch. I mean, she's being like Hilaria Baldwin's a whack job, okay? So entertaining though to watch her make a fool of herself. Also, like between her and Whitney, it's definitely giving like I'm a housewife, I'm bored, my husband needs me to go do something, so this is what I'm gonna go do. But the funny part of it is that like her and like Hilaria and Whitney are actually like extremely talented and extremely good at dancing. Clearly. Also, Whitney, I don't know what, I don't know what prayer she did to her Lord and Savior of the Mormon Jesus Christ, but whatever the hell she did, holy cow, because she looks incredible. She looks breathtaking watching her on screen. I'm like, this woman is so fucking gorgeous. It's crazy. Now, if she can just like not be the villain on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I think she could do some pretty good stuff here. Let's see. Danielle, I thought did really, really good. Dylan, I thought again did good. Jen did great. Jordan did pretty good. Jordan and Lauren definitely have room for improvement for sure. I think there's a lot of stiffness in there. And then obviously Lauren, like Fifth Harmony always, there's so many memes online about Fifth Harmony not like knowing their choreography or not doing it together, which is always entertaining to me. And then the fact that now this is 3 out of the 5 members of Fifth Harmony being on Dancing with the Stars. Elaine did great. Hilaria did great. Alex Earl. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, in the package they did for Alex, they made it seem like she was going to suck, and that she was going to have a very hard time dancing, and that she wasn't going to do good. Bitch, the girl can dance. She's a good dancer. I was like, are you joking me right now? The package I saw, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like so bad. Like Alex is gonna have such a hard time. Like this is gonna be embarrassing. Nope. She can dance. She doesn't have that much of a personality, but she can dance. Andy Richter, not a great dancer, but he can dance, and he's gonna be great. And and like this is the thing is like I want these guys that aren't the best to keep going because I want to see them grow. I want to see how good they get. Okay, and then Baron Davis, again, okay, let me say this. When he was doing the ballroom dancing, he wasn't doing great. Okay, he wasn't doing his best. But when they were doing like a bit of like freestyle dancing, man, Sir can shake his ass. Okay, he knows what he's doing. Baron is actually a good dancer, and it's just trying to figure out how to like interpret that into ballroom. Corey Feldman, I didn't realize that did he say he had scoliosis? Is that what he said? I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. So that'll be really interesting. I mean, for personal reasons, like for humane reasons, I'm not a big fan of Corey being on the show. I think it's a little problematic, but the fact that he can still dance though. Like everybody on the show can dance this season. There wasn't one person that I watched where I was like, you know how there's always that one cast member every single season where you watch it and you're like, oh, this is like torture to watch them dance. I didn't feel that way at all. I thought every single one of them did fantastic. I thought their dances were clean and good. Nobody made like any crazy ass weird mistakes. Like overall, I was very, very impressed. Very impressed. Very happy. Very good. Very demure. So yeah, I don't know what you guys thought. If you guys thought that, who you guys are like excited for, voting for, who do you want to see at the end, which pros are your favorite. If you're part of the replay crew and you come in here and comment later, please comment and let me know what you guys think. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was, do you want to talk about Salt Lake City or do we want to talk about Vanderpump Rules? Let's do Salt Lake City first. So Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is back. I was so excited. I was so entertained. This is like, they are the Real Housewives of New York. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that my number one ingredient for the best franchise for Housewives is delusion. The more delusion, the better. Okay? The more Luann de Lesseps, the more Sonia Morgan, the more Dorinda Medley you can be, the better. The more entertaining the show will be. Also, you need to have real friendships and real enemies that exist outside of the show. That they're not just friends or hang out when cameras are up. They're hanging out and friends when cameras are down. I've said this time and time again, and I will say it until I am blue in the face. In my opinion, the worst Housewife franchise right now, not overall, but right now, is Beverly Hills. Why is that? Number one, they don't have fun delusion going on. They don't have this delusion that rich people... That's the thing that was so great about Real Housewives when it started out, was with like OC and New York and even Jersey, is that they were so rich that they lived in this delusional world that was so funny to watch. Like Kathy Hilton is that ball of rich woman delusion that is so entertaining. It's like she's a fucking alien when she's around normal people. Like that's so funny to me. And then there's also like the Teresa Giudices of the world and the Gretchens of the world and the Sonia Morgans of the world, where bad things are happening to them. Objectively, they're aware of these bad things, but they still act like everything's okay. They lie through their fucking teeth, and they say the most ridiculous shit. Not offensive, not nasty, no, they're just like, wait, what? Huh? Like, they're gifs and meme galore. And that is what Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is. It is this beautiful mashup of women that genuinely, like, are friends with each other and know each other and, like, have conversations with each other when the TV show is not happening. You have delusion up the wazoo. The delusion, the Whitneys of the world, the Lisas of the world, the Britneys of the world. Delusion. Watching how much those women, and listen, I'm not trying to like hate on women, I'm really not, but I'm not gonna lie though, you guys, watching these women hate Britney so much is so fucking entertaining. Because she just doesn't get it. Like it's like she's an alien it's like she's an alien from another planet. I'm like, girl, you guys, when they're at the table camping, after this, we're gonna go back to the camp part, okay? When they're camping and they're sitting at the picnic tables for lunch, and she stands up and says she has an announcement, and she says her and David, I believe is her boyfriend's name, got engaged, and then within 2 seconds goes, and then we got unengaged. Because our children don't like the thought of us getting married. That was so comical because she gave enough of a pause, and it was like the women, you could tell the women were kind of like sitting there like, oh, should we be like clapping or not? Like, should we be excited? And then just as I think they were about to be like, yay, congrats, yay. Brittany's like, we ended the engagement though because our kids think us getting married is toxic as fuck. And I'm like, this is incredible. This is incredible. The hardest working housewife I've seen in a very long time is Miss Angie K. Angie K works hard for the money. So hard for it, honey. I have never seen a housewife work so fucking hard in their life to keep their goddamn job. Because Angie K said, you guys want to go on a vacation? You want to go on a little trip? The first episode? Don't worry, Bravo. I got this. I'll take care of everything. Just get the girls to show up. They're like, great, awesome, we can do that. And the fact that she got these women into a RV is a feat that no woman's ever done before. Okay? The last time that we saw that much entertainment in an RV was Real Housewives of Atlanta with Kim and Nene going at each other. Like, what is going... It was so funny to watch all of them, like, get ready. And again, like, this is the rich women delusion that I find to be so hilarious, is that they're all ready to go on like a plane and go somewhere fancy and fun and fresh. And also Angie sending that invitation out to them was so diabolical. She was like, ooh, it's like, never mind. We're going in an RV in the dead of fucking winter. Gotcha. So funny. So classic. So funny. So incredible. I couldn't believe she got Mary. Okay. Mary to do it with her. That's when you know. Okay. That Mary is the queen of delusion. Mary is one of the best housewives ever to be on television. Like truly. She is one of the best housewives ever. Like being entertained by what I'm watching wise, she's an icon. And the fact that Angie K was able to convince Mary to go, I think Mary's on Xanax. I think Mary's popping some emeritus pills because first season Mary compared to fifth season Mary, there's a lot more chill happening. She's still saying outlandish stuff. She's still saying the most ridiculous shit, talking out of her left side of her mouth. But she's a lot more calmer. She doesn't stress me out as much anymore as she used to. Like season 1, she like stressed me out with the shit that she would say. This year, I'm like, she kind of says what the audience is always thinking, but in like this really rude way. She's very entertaining. So the fact that they got that, and then Heather's over here trying to freaking come up with ghost stories, and I'm like, is Heather like getting laid? Like I need to like know that Heather's like getting laid. She doesn't have a boyfriend clearly. And if she does, nobody knows about it. And I will say, I was talking to one of my friends about this. I love Heather as the Garcelle of the group. Garcelle, the thing I loved about Garcelle is Garcelle would always kind of be like the commentator of the show. We would get a lot of her talking heads. We would get a lot of her perspective, her little one-liners and things like that. And I love that Heather's kind of that person. She's kind of the storyteller. I will say the one thing that I don't like about Heather that I loved about Garcelle in like comparison of like the narrator of the show is the thing I loved about Garcelle is one, she kind of narrated the season for us, which I really liked. But she also was kind of the truth serum of the show. So when people were acting wackadoo, even people that she liked, even her friends, she still was kind of like, no. The thing that I always thought about Garcelle was that I always thought to myself, I think Garcelle goes on social media before the season starts and she reads like as much as she can about what the fans think of the cast. And she takes that information and she injects it into the show. And that's how she calls people out. And that's what I loved about her, was that a lot of the times the things that Garcelle was saying on the show was stuff that I've heard fans talk about. And myself, I also have talked about. And I'm like, this is interesting. This is fascinating. And I wish Heather would do more of that. Because I do like her talking heads. I like the commentary and the narrating that she gives to the show. But I just wish that she would, like sitting there trying to make up bullshit for Lisa when Lisa wasn't there. I was like, Lisa would talk behind your back like no one's goddamn business, Heather. Let's be for literally real right now. Lisa loves talking shit about people. And wherever she is, not on this trip with you guys, she's probably doing it right now. With whoever the hell she's hanging out with. Whichever famous person she's pretending she's hanging out with for the day. I want pictures. I want proof that you were with these people. Lisa. And the other thing is, like, Lisa is starting to tread a very thin line, I think. Where a lot of these housewives do this thing after a while where they get too big for their britches. And they start thinking that if the franchise didn't have them, they would be nothing. Like, the franchise would be nothing. Blah, 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 blah. And like, listen, I like Lisa Barlow on the show. I really do. Like, I think she is a necessary cog to the machine. That being said, though, she doesn't understand, in my opinion, how good her cast is, that they don't need her. Like, they can have, like, we thought that would happen with Jen Shah. We're like, oh my God, they're not going to have Jen Shah. What's going to happen to this group? What's going to happen? Like, is this show going to be good enough? Still flying with flying colors. And it's just because this group is embedded and enmeshed in each other's lives. They've gone through a lot together. They've said a lot of things together. They've experienced life before the show together. And I think that has helped them. And I'm like, Lisa, don't start not showing up to trips, not going to shit. That's not going to work. That's especially for someone like her who's so loud and outspoken and crazy. Like, the fans want to see her on the show. I also think this is going to be her villain season, which a lot of these housewives have, you know, like I feel like there's I feel like there's three categories of housewives, and they interchange every single season because you're not always the villain, you're not always the nice guy, you're not always the background character. You're everybody's always a mix, okay? Each season is different. But every housewife, for the most part, usually has a villain era, they have the hero era, and then they have like the background friend era where they're not the main character in the bullshit. They're also not the bad guy. They're kind of just there, entertained by everything. And I feel like that's what Heather is finally in now. Heather's very much in like the middle ground where she's not the problem, she's also not the solution though. She's just kind of in the middle. And that's okay. Well, like watching her and Meredith watch Brittany and Whitney go after each other, that was entertaining as hell. That was so funny to sit there and watch these two fighting each other while Meredith is zonked out of her mind and Heather's just sitting there holding on to Mary's arm, cackling away. I'm like, this is so entertaining. This is so fucking funny. This is so funny. And Brittany's one of those people where it's like, girl, you don't have a leg to stand on with the bullshit. So just quiet. Be very quiet. Okay? Be very chill. Shut your mouth. Because you don't have a leg to stand on, girl. You're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that this is Lisa Barlow's villain season. And that doesn't mean she can't come back. You don't have to always be the villain. You can have a resurgence. You can have a change of heart. You can, you know, rise up from the ashes. Or you can really step into your villain like Kenya, I think, steps into her villain very, very well. I think she's great at it. I think that Nene was very good at being the villain at times and embraced it. I think Kenya embraces being the villain. I think Ramona was totally fine with being the villain because I don't think Ramona ever thinks she's the goddamn villain, even though she is horrific and horrible. There's a lot. I think Erica Jane thought she would like being the villain, but then when she became the villain, she hated it because it was for like reasons she couldn't control, and she didn't like that. I think Lisa Rinna loved being the villain. I think Lisa Rinna would have kept being the fucking villain. Yeah, some people love it and some people hate it. Like Kyle Richards can't be the villain. She can't survive being the villain. She'll lose her goddamn mind. She either needs to be neutral or she wants to be the hero. She's my villain, my personal villain, but every season she's my fucking villain. I'm like, girl. Yeah, I just watched the first episode and I was just cackling and sitting there laughing my fucking ass off. And I'm like, these poor fisherman guides and outdoorsmen people having to come and watch these women act a buffoon. And then sitting there, Mary tried to explain how she would resuscitate a fish. Okay? How she would rip a fish out of the water, which, P.S., Mary, that's where they breathe, and try to resuscitate it and give it CPR. And then not understanding the other fisherman's name, which also he totally was saying what she was saying. I was like, you're not pronouncing that with a D. You're pronouncing it with a G, your own goddamn name. That's why she keeps saying it that way. Like, am I crazy? So I'm interested to see, you know, I love that Brittany gave them all cameras. Hilarious. Also, can we do that for every single season? Because unless you're Heather Dubrow, who is actively always getting her fucking phone out and being the producer of the show, like, let's go. Let's get these little cameras rolling so that way we can catch things that happen all. Like, I'm tired of watching seasons of Housewives where they're like, oh, the cameras didn't catch this. It was too late at night. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, the fuck? Wake them up and tell them to put the camera on. There should be if we're going on a girls trip, if we are going on any trip, we need to ask the residents that we're going to if they have cameras in every single fucking room. If they have little Nest cameras in every single room. If not, bravo, spend the moolah and get some Nest cameras in the rooms. So that way we don't miss things like, oh, I don't know, Jen Shaw giving Heather a black eye. Okay? I don't want to miss those things. I want to see that shit, okay? I want to see it. I'm tired of this, like, oh my God, it happened off camera. I can't believe this happened. No, not acceptable. I don't accept that. Another iconic season to happen, I'm sure. So we'll see how everything goes. But clearly, this is going to be a rough season for Lisa. And I think Lisa's going to also use that to her advantage. I'm like, poor me. Ugh. And listen, I hate to tell you, every single franchise has divorces on the show. Salt Lake City, you're due for one. You're due for a breakup, a divorce. You're due for one. Okay. I also love that Andy Cohen was basically like, Jen Shaw who? Like, never want to see this woman ever again in a day in my life. All right, so last thing I want to talk about was Vanderpump Rules. We had talked the last live last week about Vanderpump Rules a little bit, about Katie and Sheena. So Katie went on her podcast. Okay, so no, let's go back a little bit in case you guys missed it. Hold on. There we go. So last week I did a live, and I said on the live that Sheena and Lala and Katie were kind of all having a little bit of an argument, a little issue. Sheena can't keep her mouth shut, obviously. She loves to jibber jabber. She was on Gia Giudice's podcast, and I guess under her breath, she had said that basically, like, Katie's, like, irrelevant. Like, Katie who? Like, who's, like, whatever. No one knows who Katie is. That's fucking not true. And also in her book went on and on about the wedding and Katie going on the trip, and should Katie have gone on the trip, and she only went on the trip because I had the wedding, and all that, she didn't need to be there, and blah 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 blah. Like, it's just a bunch of crap that it's just like, Sheena, we watched the show, we know how this shit works. It wasn't like we're new to reality TV, okay? I'm not new to this shit, okay? Stop, please. And the way that she was talking about, like, how much money they make, and like, oh, if you're not this, you don't do that. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I genuinely don't know what the hell she was talking about. It was ridiculous. And then somehow Lala, as per usual, got caught in the crosshairs. Now, here's my thing. I think Lala and Sheena are manufacturing drama again, which I cannot stand. If you're going to manufacture drama, which I am aware happens all the time, I'm not an idiot. I've watched The Hills, okay? If you know, you know. But you need to be good at it. And it needs to feel authentic and real. And if those two nincompoops go on the Valley and manufacture some bullshit, it's going to make the show go into the toilet. Because in my opinion, the Valley does not need those two women on their show in any way, shape, or form for it to be a good show. So the fact that they're bringing them on is mind-blowing to me, and I really don't get it, and we need to, like, move on, okay? But it feels like they're manufacturing drama in preparation for the Valley. That's the vibe I'm getting, and I think the internet's getting a very similar vibe, okay? So obviously Katie had enough and was like, stop talking about me. You want to keep chirping away? Fine, I'm going to talk. And the thing about Katie, don't let Katie talk. Because if Katie talks, she's going to annihilate you. Because that's just how Katie's always been, okay? And sure enough, Katie was like, so you won't shut the fuck up, so now we're going to have a conversation. And I'm going to tell you what really happened. Which essentially was, they didn't want to do the wedding for Sheena on the show. They allegedly, according to Katie, the producers were like, we don't want to do this. And there has been a past of producers, editors not loving Sheena, okay? If you are an OG Vanderpump Rules person and followed long enough, you know that this is a pattern with Sheena and the production and the editors, blah, 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 blah. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. Research it yourself and figure it out for yourself, okay? And Katie was like, they didn't want to shoot the wedding, actually. They didn't want to do it at all. And then they decided they were going to do it, and they begged Katie to go. Katie didn't even want to go. They begged Katie to go. And one thing about Katie, and the reason why I feel like Katie is a truth teller of the story, is one, if you watch her on Vanderpump Rules, she almost always is telling the truth. Even though sometimes the way she tells it is horrific and scary. But she pretty much always told the truth. And then number two is Katie's just not the type of cast member. She's not the reality star that does shit that she doesn't want to do. She's always been like that. She doesn't want to do something. She ain't fucking doing it. And so it doesn't surprise me that that might be a real thing, that the producers begged her to come on that trip to Mexico. I'm glad they did, because it was wild to watch with everything that we knew about, Scandival, obviously. It was crazy to watch. And it was entertainment, It was soul-crushing entertainment, but it was entertainment. So, I'm glad she went. But for her to kind of just be like, Sheena, if you're not going to shut up, I'm just going to have to, like, burst your bubble. And you want to know why I also know it's true? Because after, when Sheena talked about it on her podcast, guess what she did? She didn't give Katie any more fucking shit. She shut her damn mouth. Because she pushed Katie to the edge, and she kept poking, and she kept poking, and she kept poking. And Katie was like, you know what? This will get you to shut up. And sure enough, that's another reason why I know that in my heart, in my opinion, it's true what happened on Katie's side, because Sheena all of a sudden had nothing left to say. And she was like, oh, Katie and I used to be such good friends, and I shouldn't have said that, and that was really rude of me, and I shouldn't have said that. And even my mom was like, what is wrong with you? And, everything that I've ever told Katie, she's never, like, told it to other people. She doesn't spread she hasn't, like, told my secrets, and I really appreciate that. Even when we were at, like, our worst, she never did that to me, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, so funny how Katie, even at your guys' worst, never did that to you. But you keep doing that to her. Here's my thing is, I feel like Ariana, Katie, even Stassi, I will say this, Kristen, have and again, I'm not saying any of these women are perfect. I'm not saying that they're necessarily good people either. But I do get the sense that those four really grew up and have changed a lot about their personalities and have changed a lot about their behaviors and don't engage in a lot of the same behaviors that they were, especially post being on a reality TV show. Like, you don't see them manufacturing drama anymore, like, in a weird way, especially with Vanderpumprules cast members. Like, Ariana's kind of just like, I'm not on Vanderpumprules anymore, so why the fuck am I talking about Vanderpumprules? Same with Katie. Katie's like, I have my own podcast. Like, I'm all set. Like, I have a fucking rocker boyfriend. I don't need to talk about Vanderpumprules anymore. Like, I acknowledge it. I appreciate it. We're good. But, like, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Sheena kind of always reminds me of that high school football player that comes back to the high school reunion like 20 years later and is still like, yeah, football, I was on varsity, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, cool, we're not in high school anymore. We're fucking grown-ass adults now. Like, we have kids, we have marriages, we have lives. Like, this isn't the vibe anymore. And that's like, Sheena just feels like she's constantly like dragging irrelevant conversations into the mix in order to stay relevant. And then an interviewer asked her on a red carpet somewhere, like, how do you feel about Lala's comments? And Lala was on one of her Amazon lives that she does, talking about shit, and her always being like, oh, I have a big mouth, I open my mouth, why do I do this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, you're a grown-ass adult, you don't have to say these things, you don't have to talk about this shit, you don't have to bring it into the drama. But basically, she was like, Sheena's Sheenaing, and I'm just letting her do it. Like, I saw her last week, we're fine, but I'm just like, we're good. Like, we're good enough right now. There's good days and bad days, but our kids love each other. They're best friends, and I just saw her, and it's not that big of a deal. She couldn't come to my daughter's birthday party because of, these valid reasons. It's not that big of a deal. Again, Sheena's just Sheenaing. So then when Sheena was on the red carpet and got asked about Lala, she's like, well, some people don't want to hold themselves accountable, and, maybe Lala should look into, like, why I'm Sheenaing right now. And it's like, oh. So it sounds to me like her and Lala are in a bad spot right now and having some issues and some problems and some concerns. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like, because again, it's giving manufactured. It's giving, oh, we're shooting the Valley right now, we need something to talk about. Oh, I want to make sure I'm relevant on the show. How can I do that? Oh, me and Lala are going to make up some bullshit, which they admitted to doing in season, 9, I think? Or 8? Whatever the stupid ass season was that James got engaged to Rachel. They manufactured that bullshit. They admitted to doing that. And you could tell it then, and you're going to be able to tell it again on the Valley. You're gonna be able to tell again on the Valley that their frustrations and their angers, sorry, and the bullshit is made up. So I don't know why they're doing that. It didn't work the first time. It's not going to work this time. You look like hypocrites. You look ridiculous. And then when you start blaming everybody for why you look like the bad guy, no, you look like the bad guy because you were the bad guy. Because of your choices and your behavior. And it's just like, Sheena's never going to learn. Sheena's never going to fucking learn. I still think she's on the Mount Rushmore of reality TV stars. Okay? That woman has given me some of the most incredible moments of my life watching reality TV. That being said, though, she ain't never going to learn. She's just never going to learn. And she is going to somehow insert her and Brock's bullshit from 2 years ago into this season. I know it. And she's going to be like, oh my God, this, oh my God, that. It's like, I don't have any pity for you. I don't have any pity for her. Because you had your chance and you blew it. She had her chance and she blew it. And I'm just like, I don't have a lot of sympathy. Sorry that happened to you and that sucks, but I'm just kind of like, you had something this exact same thing-ish happen to you that happened to your best friend, and you treated your best friend like a piece of shit. And you expect people to come back and treat you and have sympathy for you and put love on you when you treated your best friend on the show like a sack of shit. It's just like, girl, please, like, I'm begging you. I just wish Sheena would, like, just find a new venture and find something new that's outside of this shit. And because she does have so much potential and she has so much that I think she could do, and I don't know why she won't just take the step and get out of reality TV. Like, I just feel like she needs to fly and spread her wings. Lala too. Like, I don't feel like Lala's potential has been, like, tapped into enough. I don't know who her PR team is or who her marketing team is. And also the other part of it is maybe the two of them aren't doing as much as I think they could be doing or should be doing because they have kids. You know, Katie and Ariana don't have kids. So they can do, I mean, Ariana fucking flies out to Fiji twice a year now. She can do that as much as she wants. Katie's going on friggin' world tours with her boyfriend. They can go do that. These women can't do that. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why they're not doing as much. But I'm just sitting there watching and I'm just like, they should just be doing so much more. That's like not reality TV. There's so much potential for them. And I don't know why them and their team don't tap into it. And like Lala, I'm assuming finally got to get her podcast back, I guess, or something, because she changed the name of her podcast. It was Give Them Lala, and now it's like, I don't even know what the fuck it is, something else Lala, like Disrespectfully Lala or some shit like that or whatever. So she changed that, and then like the first episode she had Randall's ex-wife on it, which I'm like, cool, okay, great, but I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't know, you guys, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you get me? Because like, I just feel like Lala has so much potential to be something more, and I don't know what that more necessarily maybe is, but like, I think Lala, if she like checked herself a little bit, and this might be like this is like old Lala stan coming out of me, because I used to be a Lala stan, like I made so many excuses for that fucking woman, like, she could be, like, a call her daddy type of bitch. Like, I could see her being, like, Alex Earl. Like, really? Because she has the personality for it. Like, whether you like them or not, whether you like Sheena or like Lala, they have the personalities for this type of stuff. For podcasts, for hosting, for, like, all this type of shit. And it's just, like, I don't know. It's like they're not doing enough. Which is weird. Because they are. They are. But I just feel like there's a world that they haven't entered into yet. And I don't know what the fuck that is. But podcasting, like, is Lala not doing her businesses anymore? Is she not doing, like, Lala Baby and Lala Skincare and Lala Makeup and all this shit? Is she not doing that anymore? And that's another thing. Like, I never felt like she did enough with those either. They just felt like influencer fucking brands. Where I'm like, no, Lala, girl, like, you wear a lot of makeup. Like, it makes sense for you to want to do things in makeup and hair and skincare and all that stuff. Like, Lala was always wearing makeup and had her hair done and all these things. Like, it's fine. but it always felt like she was just like not fully into it, where I feel like she definitely could have been. So I'm just like, why? Like, I don't know, you guys. And I don't feel like the book, like, the book is enough for Sheena. Sheena should be like hosting something. Like, I kind of wish that MTV was still had like TRL. She would be phenomenal for TRL. She would be great on TRL. Like, that's the type of shit that I feel like she would be so good at. Like, if MTV Beach House was still a thing, Sheena would be amazing at that. She would be fun in a little bikini by the pool with a bunch of people with beach balls drinking like no one's goddamn business in their bikini. She's being like, "Hey, welcome back to MTV Beach House. I'm Sheena." Blah. And like introducing stars to sing their fucking songs. She would be so good at that. And I'm like, where? Like, do I need to be their PR team? Do I need to call them up and go, I have some ideas. I have some fucking ideas. Because I just don't understand, like, why does Sheena even do her YouTube videos anymore? Let's look. Oh, I guess she still does. So she still does her vlogs. She still has those going for her. And what's she getting? She's not getting a lot of views, you guys. She's getting like, let's see, 2,000, 1,000, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 4,000. She had one episode, I'm assuming, of her she doesn't put her podcast on this, does she? She shouldn't. I hope she doesn't do that. Did she put her podcast on here? Why does she do that? She shouldn't do that. She should be... Who told her to do that? She shouldn't do that. If she is, she should have a separate... Hold on. She needs to have a separate channel. Everybody knows that. That's like fucking social media 101. Shenanigans. Is that how you spell it? Sheena... Come on. Sheena Shea podcast. I don't think she has a separate channel for her podcast, which is not smart. She should have it separate from each other. But yeah, she's got Shenanigans. And even like her shenanigan podcast, like she can't be making that much money off this podcast. She must be making money off of like the promotional stuff. But like 2,000, 3,000, 7,000, 10,000, 3,000, 2,000. Like she's not getting more than 10,000 views on any of these videos. And then like her shenanigan episodes aren't getting a crap ton of people. Yeah, her shenanigans episodes are not getting that many people either. Like she's getting like 2,000s, 3,000s. Yeah, like 1,400. She's not getting a lot off these videos. There's no way this is like her income. She has to be making money off of like the sponsorships, which is why she just so goddamn many of them. And then like, let's see what Give Them Wow. This is on YouTube though. So that doesn't count for like all the other places that obviously the podcast is playing. Cause it's not Give Them Wawa anymore. She changed it. What the hell did she change it to? She changed it to something else. What did she change her podcast to? Google. Does anybody know? Comment down below. Lala Kent podcast. Untraditionally Lala. That's what it is. She changed it to Untraditionally Lala. So is she changing... Traditionally Lala right there. So does this have a different... I'm confused. Because this doesn't have a different channel. So did she... I know she did an episode with her... with what's-her-face there. So I want... Where's that? It's an iHeartRadio podcast, supposed... No, maybe it's not. I'm confused. Oh, here we go. Untraditionally Lala on iHeartRadio. So it's on iHeart. It's just not... Okay, so it is all the Give Them Lala episodes. September 17th is when she started the Untraditionally one. So maybe it's just not up yet? I don't know, on YouTube. Maybe she's not doing the YouTube videos for it? I don't know. But yeah, Amber is who she did that with. And she's done episodes with Amber before and Give Them Lala, so... I mean, I love the cover. It looks really good compared to her Give Them Lala stuff. I don't like her thumbnails, though. I really don't like her thumbnails. But again, no one gives a shit. So her podcast on YouTube is getting... let's see, her last one was 6.9 thousand. Her one with Tamara was 16,000. 5, 3, 4, 3, 9, 3, 15. I mean, so she's getting the same overall. The one about Brock's affair, which I'm just like, girl, clearly, y'all are working in cahoots together, because she did her podcast episode on that for 30, and that got 37,000 views. But she has, like, Nutrafol is one of her people. Who else is on here? I think she does, like, Cash App or some shit like that. BetterHelp, Nutrafol, BetterHelp. What's that? I don't know what the fuck that is. Rakuten. Yeah, so she's getting good sponsors, so she's clearly making money off of that too, and I'm sure she does sponsors on her social media. I don't follow her anymore, but I'm sure she does social media posts and things like that. So, I mean, she's making money from that too, but I don't know, I just feel like they should be... I don't know, I just feel like they should be doing more. And they don't have to. It doesn't make them better or worse women. It's just... I just see their potential from watching the two of them for so long that I'm just like, girl, like, why haven't we tapped into this shit? Like, what are we missing? What's going on? What's happening? Let's do a little bit of a rebrand, which Lala's clearly trying to do, a rebrand here. So, and then the other thing I will say too is that I think a lot of the times what happens as well is these reality TV star people, they get a podcast and they get stuck in this reality TV bubble, and some of them love it. And some of them I'm like, I think you could be more. And I think Sheena is really good at being a Bravo universe girly pop. Like, I think that's her wheelhouse. It works for her, whatever. She always joked about how she wants to take over Watch What Happens Live. But I think Lala, again, I can't emphasize this enough. I don't know why this is the energy I'm feeling with Lala. It's like, I do feel like she could be like Alex Earl. I think she could have her own little empire. I think she could have her own little podcast empire. I think she could be interviewing people that are just, like, I hate saying this, like, more than a reality star, because I don't think reality stars are just, like, pieces of shit. Like, I think they're fantastic. But I do think she could step out of her little bubble, like I think Alex Earl does. Alex Earl does good about stepping in the bubble, stepping out of the bubble. Reality TV, and then all of a sudden she's, like, fucking interviewing Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's interviewing Ellen Pompeo, like, big time movie stars and artists and singers and all this shit. Like, fucking, didn't she do Chapel Rowan, like, all this stuff, okay? But then again, she steps back into the reality TV world and does with Taylor Frankie Paul, you know. So it's like, it's a balancing act for her, obviously, and she's earned enough weight in the world to have these amazing people on her show. And I feel like Lala has that potential. And I know having 2 children doesn't make that easy. doing all that and finding time for them and yourself and all these things. And again, Alex Earl doesn't have children. So I'm sure it's a lot easier for her to do the things that she wants to do when she wants to do them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know as much as I criticize any people on these shows, I do think in my heart that Lala and Sheena, no matter how I feel about them as like characters on a television show, I do and I have always thought that they are phenomenal moms. I think that they are very, very good mothers and love their children a lot. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why, is because they are the type of mothers that want to be there with their children. They don't just want to hand them off to a fucking nanny. Or at least that's everything that I've seen. That's the vibe I've always gotten. Is that I'm sure they do have help and support, but they've never given me the vibe that they want a nanny taking care of their children. But that takes away from you being able to do projects and things that maybe you want to do. Like, why isn't Lala doing movies? Like, even if it's just a stupid fucking Hallmark movie, go do a Hallmark movie. Why can't you do that? Like, I think she could do that. I don't know. When she was with, I wonder if Randall kind of like blacklisted her out of Hollywood, which was to be so fucking stupid. Screw you, dude. What a loser. Anyway, but so that's all I wanted to talk about. If you're part of the Replay crew, hi, how are you? Comment down below. Love you. You're amazing. If you've been with me the whole time, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Go check out my Discord. The link is going to be in the bio. It's the Bravoholics Discord. It has a bunch of Bravo shows in it. Pretty much every single Bravo show that's out there right now. But it also has like Dancing with the Stars. So if you want to chit chat about Dancing with the Stars, go in the Discord and you can go do that. Gossip tea, chats and conversations, you know, all that fun stuff. Go check out any of my other videos. Go check out all my social medias. And I love you. And please go support LGBTQIA businesses. Support trans lives. Support immigrants' lives. Basically support everybody that doesn't look like fucking me right now, because they need all the help that they can get right now at this point, because we're living in dark, dark, dark times, boys and girls. Very dark times, okay? I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.